Christy. I'm 32 years old and I'm getting braces. The reason I'm getting braces, I do have slightly crooked teeth. Most people are like, oh, your teeth aren't that bad. But when I look at pictures, I can kind of weed through pictures and tell which ones I like and which ones I don't like, just based on my teeth. Everything else could be perfect, and if my teeth look really, really crooked in that picture's garbage. I can't deal with it. I also have a lot of the crowding in the front of my mouth makes it really hard for me to floss, so it's time to straighten up these bad boys and make sure I can keep a really clean mouth. This isn't my first go around with braces. I didn't have them as a child, but as an adult I did try Invisalign. I have both boxes. I have 37 top aligners and 27 bottom, and I didn't even make it past the first one. I never should have gone with Invisalign. I didn't shop around for an orthodontist. I just typed in, hey, who in my area does Invisalign? Found one person and boom, went with him. That was a mistake. He pressured me into getting them. My treatment time was going to be between 2 and 3 years. He wanted to pull one of my bottom teeth. I said, in the front, and then close up the gap. I was like, no, I'm not having a missing tooth in the front of my mouth. I'm an adult, not happening. So he said, oh, okay, well, we'll file in between your teeth. And I said, how many and how much? And he couldn't give me an answer. He told me that we had to go ahead, I had to make my down payment, they had to send out my molds to Invisalign, and then get all that information back, and then he could let me know what they say we needed to do. If he couldn't even give me a ballpark idea of what my treatment was going to be, that should have been a major red flag right there. They put the attachments on my teeth, which are what the aligners grab onto to move the teeth, especially with rotating teeth, and I have a couple that are twisted forward a little bit. So they put the attachments on, and they could only get the attachments on the top with that aligner because the gag reflex was so bad. I never had the attachments put on the bottom, and I never had the bottom aligner in. I did 3 days with the top aligner, and it was torture. So I called it quits. I called them up and said, I can't do this. I want these off my teeth. And they said, well, we normally don't do that. So they had me come in. They gave me back all of my money except for $2,000, which is what I ended up paying for a whole bunch of these that I can't use, will never use, and pretty much spent $2,000 on some hunks of plastic. But nonetheless, that was my mistake. Lesson learned. And moving forward, I continued to shop around for an orthodontist, and about 3 years later, I found one that I really like. He does all the work himself. He doesn't delegate much to his assistants. They take pictures and do molds, and they might change a wire, but other than that, he does everything. Anything permanent to teeth, he takes care of it, and I really appreciate that about him. The type of braces that I'm getting are Damon Insignia. Damon Insignia are like traditional braces in terms of the metal brackets on your teeth, on the outside of your teeth, but they're different because when the bracket goes on, there's a little gate that opens up, and the wire sits in there and they close the gate. And that gate holds the wire inside the bracket instead of having rubber bands around it that cause extra friction. So that wire is constantly allowing teeth to move with less force because it's a constant pressure that isn't stopping every 4 to 6 weeks when you would typically need to go in for an adjustment. Instead, I'll just have to go in about every 8 weeks, about every 2 months, to have a wire changed. And that'll be about it. He did say that he's big on elastics going from the top to the bottom for basically the whole treatment, and they have to be worn 22 hours a day, so I already know that going into it. It'll take a little getting used to, but I'm a first grade teacher. A lot of my kids end up in braces by the end of the school year, so it's not going to be much different than what they're going through. So I'm not going to feel too self-conscious about it, at least when I'm at work. My treatment plan is going to be about 15 months, plus or minus, depending on if I'm good about wearing my elastics, which I will be. My goal is to get it down to 12 months. The cost of my treatment is about $7,000, and they do have a payment plan that's through a third-party company. You make your down payment, then that determines what your monthly payments are going to be over the course of 2 years. And then if you carry on past the 2 years, if you want lower payments, you can. But after 2 years, you're going to start paying interest. Some things that I'm a little nervous about. I'm nervous about eating. I'm nervous about things getting stuck in my braces. I'm nervous about the first time that I speak publicly. I do professional development in my district, and I do speak at a lot of meetings, and being a classroom teacher, I'm in front of my students all the time. So just that awkward feeling of my lips moving over my braces. I'm a little nervous about the whole getting used to it thing. But a wise woman once told me, nothing's new forever. Eventually it just becomes normal. So after a few weeks, I'm sure everything will kind of smooth over and we'll be okay. So my braces go on Tuesday, August 9th at 7:30 in the morning. They said it'll take about an hour and a half for the whole appointment, but actually putting the braces on will be about 15 to 20 minutes. And the rest of that time will be making sure that I can get the elastics on and off by myself and going over how to take care of the braces, and if I have any problems, what I should do. But I've watched so many YouTube videos that I feel very, very educated in what to expect with adult braces, especially Damon braces. So that's why I'm doing these videos. Partly for me, so I can see my progress and see how my teeth change over the next 15 months, and to maybe help somebody else. YouTube seems to be a great support system for everybody when you're going through something new, a big change, or something like braces. So I'm hoping to rely on the YouTube community a little bit with questions and answers, and hope that I can provide support for other people who are going through the same journey that I am. With that being said, if you've never had braces, if you're thinking about braces, do it. Let's go through this journey together. I'll support you. You support me. It'll be great. At the end, we can celebrate having amazing smiles, really healthy mouths, and having a change that's going to last a lifetime. So, life's an adventure. Go out there and find one. And if you've never had braces, go get them.